So you're thinking about moving to Bend, Oregon, and you're curious to know more about what the heck's going on related to construction inside the city limits here in town. Well, that's exactly what we're going to be covering in today's video. There's a lot of construction going on all around town, all around Central Oregon, frankly, but there's just a lot of larger buildings that have sprung up over the last year or 2 years, and we want to highlight some of those new construction projects in today's video to give you a better understanding of what else is going on aside from just homes and neighborhoods here in town. So if this video sounds like it's for you, stick around. We're going to be getting after it right now.
If this is your first time on the channel and you'd like to know everything there is to know about living, eating, sleeping, playing, the good and the bad of Bend, Oregon and the surrounding areas, subscribe to the channel, tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about the current market here in Bend, Oregon. My name is Zach Nutter. This is Ryan Rudloff, both licensed brokers with eXp Realty in the state of Oregon. We've lived here in Bend for over 30 years and we absolutely love it. So whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. Love to connect with you. So, as Ryan said, we are showing off these big buildings today. I love big buildings and I cannot lie. So, a slight chuckle
That's
from
good.
you? Okay.
That's good. That's good. I like that.
Up
Open
until,
mic night
yeah,
tonight.
a couple years ago, they passed an ordinance to allow larger buildings. I think 6 stories is now the max. Before, I think it may have been 3 stories. But so we're starting to see huge buildings like this spring up behind us. So we're on Century Drive. This is going to be a new apartment complex. It's going to be 6 stories high. It's huge. It's probably got 100+ units in it. But we're starting to see these all over town. So today we're going to take you around and show you a bunch of them. Some of them have mixed use commercial below, living above. Some are all commercial buildings, but most of them have some kind of living aspect in them as well. So we're going to hop in the car. We're going to go to each spot, tell you a little bit about it. So we hope you enjoy this video. So we are at OSU Cascades campus now, another big, beautiful building. This one's probably the oldest of the video or the buildings we're going to show you today. This is the first state university built in Oregon in the last 50 years. There's about 1,200 students here, but as you can see behind us, it's about 4 stories. So it's one of the smaller buildings we're going to show you today as well. But we just love the look, the aesthetic of this place, but it shows you what Bend's doing. It's really growing up. Because we are so dense, they're not expanding the UGB like they used to. They're really making sure that I forget it's like an infill process. So they calculate how much available vacant land there is inside the city limits, and until it reaches a certain percentage, if it's, call it 15%, 20%, I don't remember what the exact number is, but until it gets low enough, they're not going to expand it out. And so we're seeing people really build up, which is helping with a lot of the housing issues that we have here right now.
Yeah, growing up here for 30 years, the first 25 years or more, we've been here longer than 30 years, but it was pretty strict, right? I mean, buildings were not allowed to be over 3 stories, with the exception of, say, St. Charles Medical Center. Outside of that, there was literally no buildings over 3 stories. And now we're starting to see them pop up everywhere. And the reason behind that was to protect the mountain views that we had. Bend has become so big now. I know this is probably going to ruffle some feathers from some old timers that have lived there for a long time, but now we have such a densely populated area in terms of where we're at in Bend, not compared to bigger cities, of course, that we have to build up as opposed to out. And that's what we're seeing now. The ordinance took place just a year, maybe 2 years ago, and they didn't waste any time, that's for sure. There are dozens of buildings that are springing up right now, or they've already completed their construction process. And so we're going to see a new shape of what Bend looks like over the next 10 to 20 years. and it's starting right now. It's pretty interesting.
So we're going to hop in and show you another place over on the west side that just finished, a really cool apartment complex.
So we're on the west side still, and this is a brand new apartment complex right behind us. It's called the Strata Apartments. You can see if we pan all the way up there, it's a 6-story building, another large building here in town. It's on the deep west side here. We have a local brewery right to our right. Not really a brewery, but it's a bar. It's called Justy's, now called Lifty's actually. They had a copyright problem there for a while. And then right in front of us is the old Bulletin building. That's a large building too, but it's not very tall. But that got repurposed for all kinds of little commercial businesses. Outside magazines over there, Western Titles over there, there's a few others, but it's a really unique area here. On the other side of the apartment complex here is going to be a widespread softball field complex called the Skyliner.
Skyline Park.
Skyline Park, that's what it is.
I think it's Skyliner.
There's Big Sky, there's Skyliner.
There's some great softball parks across
softball over there. Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
You got Cascade Middle School across the street, Summit just down the road.
Broken Top Golf Course is just over there as well. So we're very cinched up against the west side of the city limits here, and it's the road to Mount Bachelor. We're really close to all kinds of things like Tetherow. We're close to Mount Bachelor, like we talked about. It's about a 20-minute drive from here, but more large buildings right here. We're going to go check out a few more, and to give you guys a better sense of what's going on with big sprawl, big city construction right now.
So one of the things, yeah, you're done for a minute. One of the things I really love about these buildings that they're putting up is if you look at this thing, it's gorgeous. Like, it's got great architecture. They're well thought out. So the buildings, they're building these huge buildings that are changing the skyline of Bend, but they're well thought out and they're very beautiful looking buildings. None of the buildings we're going to show you today, I remember when they used to build stuff and they were like tan colored, all flat on the front, just windows and like stucco. But these are gorgeous buildings that they're putting in here. So we are changing the skyline here, but at least it's with some beautiful buildings. So we're on to the next one.
So we're still on the west side. This is the West Side Yard building. This is formerly a Ray's food place in this parking lot here, and it was torn down, and this is what came up afterwards. This is one of the bigger buildings in all of Bend. I'd say that the hospital and maybe Costco, outside of that, there's nothing that's as big as this particular building right here. And this thing just opened up maybe 2 years ago, and it's apartments, condos up above, and then it's all commercial on the ground floor. But around us, this is 14th Street to our right here, so a very, very popular area right now. A lot of businesses going in, a lot of houses and subdivisions in and around it. But again, just to give you guys a taste of what's going on with vertical construction here in town.
What I like about this building a lot is you've got the commercial below, and then you've got the residential apartments above, and then it's surrounded by great restaurants. You've got Chiba Hut, you've got Bangers and Brews, you've got Life and Time, you've got so much around here. But if you like that city lifestyle, this is a really cool building. But as Ryan said, this is one of the bigger buildings in Bend right now. So we've got a couple more to show you, so we hope you're enjoying this tour. So behind us, you will see another apartment complex. So housing is very much needed here. So that's why a lot of these places are apartment complexes that they're building, some of them in fantastic areas of town. So great places to live. This is kind of in a little industrial area. We're just outside of Deschutes Brewing's actual brewing facility. Really close still to the 14th Street corridor. So really centrally located, close to the old mill. If you love music, really close to the amphitheater here. But it's just really neat to see. But we didn't have any buildings like this just a couple of years ago. And now, I mean, we're going to show you 5, 6, 7 of these today. It's amazing how fast this has happened.
Basically what we're showing you guys is just on one stretch of town too. We were in the River West neighborhood, showing you guys high-rise buildings. We were over in the Century West neighborhood as well, with more high-rise buildings. This is kind of Southern Crossing area right here, but like they're just going up. We're all within like a 2 to 3 mile radius at most, just based off of this video alone. What's crazy is like our inventory is still at like 2 months only. We've been at 2 months for 36 months. In like during like the peak of that rush, like 2 years ago, I think our inventory was like less, like what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks,
like
Zach?
2 weeks,
something crazy like that. And so even with all this construction ongoing, I get that they're not open yet and they're not available to lease out, but we're trying to get to that point where we get our inventory back over 2 months. And it's just been a crazy process because there's so much construction going on as is, and that's been going on over the last 2 to 3 years, and yet we still can't quite get over that 2-month hump as it relates to inventory.
So we're going to jump in, show you the last project, which is a mega project going on down in the box factory area. So we're really excited to show that to you, and we'll wrap up the video from there. All right, so we are at the last project. This is almost a $200 million project they're building right next to the box factory, right kind of in between downtown and the old mill district. This is huge. It's about 5 acres. There's going to be 313 units. There's going to be over 14,000 square feet of retail space on the floor level, and then 313 apartment units above. And it's huge. It spans multiple buildings. It's right in one of the coolest areas of town with the box factory here. It's just a huge project. I think this is the biggest project Ben's ever had as far as this kind of unit.
Yeah, this is going to be one of the bigger buildings for sure when it's all said and done. It's right down here, like Zach said, in the box factory area. We're just a stone's throw away from the old mill district, so very centrally located, close to the amphitheater, close to a lot of hiking trails, walking trails, biking trails, things of that nature. Downtown is like straight ahead from where we're at right now, maybe 5 minutes away, so very centrally located. It's going to be one of those buildings that kind of shoots up. And on the parkway, historically, you can actually kind of see the mountains if you're driving on the parkway, if you look left or right, depending which direction you're going. But this building may even obstruct that view a little bit. It's going to be curious to see what it looks like when it's all said and done. But it's probably 1 or 2 years away before it's completed. But again, it just kind of gives you guys a sense of what's really going on outside of just home construction in Bend. There's so much commercial development, multi-use development going on in this town right now, and there's no reason to believe it's going to stop anytime soon.
So that wraps up our tour of these big buildings here in Bend. We hope you guys enjoyed. Please reach out, call us, text us, email us, schedule a Zoom meeting on our Calendly link on the page. We'd love to meet with you guys, help you make a move here to Bend, or just share more information with you. Let us know what videos you'd like to see. It starts with you guys. We're happy to film anything you guys want to see about Central Oregon, so just let us know.
Thanks again for watching, and remember, it starts with you guys reaching out to us first. You know what to do. And until that time, we'll see you guys on the next video.
Thank you.